guys, and welcome to another Top 5 Wednesday. This week's topic is books you read because of Booktube. Now, I actually really love this topic because it was super easy to come up with all the books because I've been reading tons of books because of Booktube just this year. So let us just get started. Now, the first book I want to talk about is actually a graphic novel series, and that is Descender by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. And I really love this graphic novel series. I love the art, and I love the story, and I love where it's going. And I heard about this series and read this because of the Booktube SFF Awards, which has happened quite a lot on this very list. The next series I want to mention is The March by John Lewis, Andrew Aydin and Nate Powell. And this was recommended to me by Books by Leynes, and she also made videos about this series on her channel, and I really liked it. I found that it was very educational, I found that the art was amazing, and it was really an emotional read, and I'm just sad that I hadn't read it before. And this was one of the more direct recommendations, and I can't thank Helene enough for recommending it to me because this whole trilogy was a gem. Next book I want to mention is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, and I've talked about it previously. I really enjoyed it. I loved the cheesiness, I loved the anime style storytelling, and I just found this to be a really exciting romp of a story that is a very good slump killer in my opinion. And this is another one that I actually read because of the Booktube SFF Awards, but I do think I heard this mentioned in the Clockwork Reader channel. That's where I must have heard about it the first time. Fourth up on my list is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I heard about this book through Sam from Thoughts on Thomes, and I was pretty skeptical at first because everyone was hyping it, and I was like, okay, I will read it. So I borrowed it from the library, and I read it and really fell in love with the whole way it was written and the atmosphere and everything. And I found the story to be really engaging and well written. And I actually really liked that the story wasn't all actiony and it was very slow paced. I really liked that about it. Because it really delved deep into the characters instead of what they were doing. And I just really love this, so I actually bought it for myself. This dust jacket is a placeholder because my friend is borrowing it at the moment. And finally, I must mention the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin because this has been one of the best books I've read this year. I also read it in preparation for the Booktube SFF Awards, and because of this book, I read the whole trilogy this year, and I loved every moment of it. I also was crushed mentally because this book doesn't really pull its punches, you know, but I just really enjoyed this to my core being. And I probably wouldn't have read it this year if it wasn't for Booktube and the Booktube SFF Awards in particular, because I am very bad when it comes to new releases and even recent releases, and like really bad. So I'm like catching up with books that came out like 10 years ago or something. So because of Booktube, I've actually read a lot of more recent releases this year, which has been really fun. And there you have it. Those have been my favorite 5 books that I've read because of Booktube. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!